thud woke me. The thud was the sound of my son kicking his bedroom wall. This isn't new. He rolls like a hay baler in his sleep. I don't move until I heard his high, squeaky voice call for Mommy. But Mommy is tired. She spent the last week working in the UK, and now she's home and trying to flip her schedule. It's just been me and the kids all week, and I don't put the boy back to sleep. My wife and I would spend the rest of the night with the 2 foot tall amateur martial artist kicking us in the back of the head until morning. The boy likes to sleep in a style I affectionately call punch snuggle. Punch snuggling is like the regular snuggling, but with fists, knees, and a heel in the abdomen, back, or face. Struggling out of bed, I kept my eyes closed until I felt the edge of the dresser press up against my arm. Cracking my left eyelid open, I saw the numbers on the clock. Read 3:06. It was 3 in the morning, and my brain felt like a trash fire. I walked into the hall and heard whispering. Maybe I didn't wake up fast enough. I thought Kay was still in bed, but I could barely keep my eyes open. So who knows what was happening? It didn't matter. I should take over. Kay needed her sleep. She would have meetings all day tomorrow. I shuffled into the hallway. Ben's door was open, and the muffled whispering from his bedroom sounded like gurgling gibberish. The little man called out for Mom again. I want Mommy, he yelled. I groaned. This was going to be one of those nights. Sometimes Ben doesn't wake up all the way. He falls into the zone that is half awake and half asleep. Then he'll scream and cry until he's in bed with us. The only way we can get him to calm down is to have him sleep between us, which isn't great for us because of all the punch snuggling. But I'm not exaggerating. I get kicked in the kidneys, and Kay has a toddler's forehead pushed in between her shoulder blades. Toddler foreheads are way more painful than you would expect. This co-sleeping happens every other night. It's not a great solution, but at least we didn't have to buy a dog like we did for our daughter. She refused to sleep in her bed until we bought a guard dog and gave it a spot in her room. The dog is cute. The dog is always scared, but May loves it, and that's what's important. I want Mommy, Ben yelled again, and I looked up as Kay led him from his room to the hall. I smiled my best commiserating smile. It's more of a closed-mouthed grin with raised eyebrows that usually pulls a huff or a laugh from Kay, but her face said she was having none of it tonight. I understood she needed me to step up and care for the kids so she could care for us. It was the deal we made when I became a stay-at-home dad. I pushed away from the wall. Sorry, I didn't hear him right away. I must be more tired than I thought. I apologized to my wife. Let's get little man in bed. I turned my attention to my son. Do you need water, buddy? I want Mommy, he whined and tried to pull away from Kay, but she didn't let him go. I remember thinking that was odd, but I was too tired to understand why I felt that way. I crouched down to my son's level, and my knee popped. Hey, little man. Mommy is right next to you. She's holding your hand. Ben wrenched his hand away from Kay and grabbed the sleeve of my pajama shirt in his tiny fist. That's not Mommy. The hairs on my scalp stood at attention. Ben seemed so genuine and sure that for a moment I believed him. I glanced up at Kay. Her eyes were wide, and a frown turned the corners of her mouth into a scowl. Children who talk in their sleep were an adventure. I want Mommy, Ben growled. Okay, alright, let's go to the bedroom, and we'll get Mommy. I placated as I led my glassy-eyed son to our bedroom. Kay followed, and I tried to communicate with her with an awkward smile and a shoulder shrug, but she wasn't looking at me. Her eyes focused on the bedroom door. That's when I heard the voice. It was Kay's voice. But I was still watching Kay over my shoulder, and Kay's mouth didn't move. I'm up. I'm here. I'm coming, the voice said from my bedroom. I watched as Kay, who walked behind me and my son, turned her head and pierced me with a wide open gaze. Her eyes were much darker than they should be, and a mix of panic and frustration pitched her features. Ben pulled at my arm, and I stumbled forward as Kay, my wife, shuffled out of the bedroom and into the hallway. There were two Kays. I'm up, the Kay in our bedroom doorway declared as she rubbed her eyes. Our son lunged forward and clutched his short arms around Kay's legs. My wife held our son and smiled sleepily at me. Then she shifted her focus to the figure behind me, and her face lost all of its color. The hair on my neck stood at attention, and the smell of brackish water filled my senses. I turned to the figure behind me, filling the hallway the best I could, putting my body between it and my son. The smell of stale water and decay overwhelmed me, and panic took my breath as I realized that whatever this was between me and my daughter's room. But before I could react, the figure that moments ago was holding my son's hand and leading him out of his room dissolved or melted. One moment it was there, the next it was gone, and the carpet was wet and stained with muddy footprints. My wife gripped my hand as she clung to Ben, and together we pulled our daughter and dog from her room. We refused to let go of each other, which confused our preteen daughter, but she had dealt with her parents' weirdness before and didn't complain as much as we pulled into the car. We left the house that night and never have been back ever since.